Hello guys, Zennosh here and welcome to Awaken Chaos Era, and I'm here to tell you guys who are the top 5 epic heroes in the game. That said, let's get this started. First of all, I would love to give a very big shout out and thanks to LD Player for sponsoring this video, and definitely I'm here to recommend you guys to use LD Player Android emulator to play mobile games like Awaken Chaos Era in your PC or laptop device. One of the very compatible Android emulator that runs pretty smoothly and very fast as well. Download link is down in the description of this video. Check it out. That said, now let's get this started for real. The first one on the list is definitely going to be Zatlux. Even though this character is an epic unit, this character is one of the best unit out there. Let's say the god tier unit in the game. Yes, that's how amazing this character really is. Looking into his attack stat, it's pretty awesome. His critical hit rate is pretty good as well. Anyways, now let's start with his trait ability that actually makes him so special and unique in the game. Upon defeating an enemy, resets all of this character's ability cooldowns. That is so good. All he need to do is kill an enemy and he's gonna have that ability cooldown reset right away. That's gonna be a really great help for him to spam his amazing skills on the enemies out there over and over and over again, which is so good. Grants attack a boost for one turn as well. That's gonna allow him to easily kill his next target right away, which is even much better right out here, guys, because it has a really good synergy effect right over here. That said, the attacker boost is gonna improve his attack stat by 30%. That is really great. Now that said, let's move on to his basic attack. It says deals 100% damage to an enemy and grants speed up boost to this character for one turn, which is so good for dungeons, PvP contents, and so many other contents out there in the game. Speed up boost is really good out here, guys. And now let's look into his passive ability, his second skill, which says Assassin Training. It says grants plus 30% critical rate boost and plus 30 precision, which is so freaking amazing. Really takes a lot of pressure from your shoulder in order to build this character to be a really great DPS unit. Plus 30% critical rate boost is right away freaking massive, amazing. Okay, that means like you can totally focus on providing a lot more critical damage boost on his gears, or let's say attack percentage boost, or any kind of DPS boosting stats in his gears out there, and that's definitely going to allow him to easily kill his target, and that is going to be really great help to his trait ability effect. Okay, so there we go. And finally, now let's look into his ultimate skill. Deals 200% damage to an enemy plus bonus damage. The fewer the enemies remaining, the higher the bonus damage dealt, and this is the reason why he is definitely an amazing character for the boss fights as well, especially that guild boss fight. Remember him? Right? If this ability kills the target, then launches a bonus attack against the enemy with the lowest health, and this is also the reason why he is so great for farming as well. Okay, so this is the reason why he's so great for like almost every content out there in the game, whether it be farming, the arena content, the adventure content, the boss fights, the dungeons, whatever that is, just bring him there and he's gonna be a really great help, especially in the arena contents, guys. It's definitely going to give you a lot of advantage against the other players out there. So this guy is totally a god tier unit in the game, even though he's just an epic unit. All right, so yeah, this guy is crazy good. Anyways, that said, now let's move on into the next character, and that is going to be this character known as William. This guy, even though he's just an epic great unit, he is one of the god tier unit in the game. Yes, you heard me right. His skill kits are amazing, superb, insane. All right, anyways, he's one of the amazing tank unit out there in the game with very high health and defense stats. That said, now let's look into his trait ability, Combat Prowess. The basic abilities of all team members deal 80% more damage with just basic ability right over there, and 80% boost right away on top of that one. That is so good. Just with the basic abilities of your teammates, you will be able to deal some crazy damage to the enemies out there. It is going to be really great for every content out there in the game, whatever that is. Now let's look into his basic skill. It says Marching Orders. deals 50% damage to an enemy and launches a joint attack with a random ally. That allows him to deal a lot more damage to the enemies out there. He definitely does not have a very high attack stat, but he really do call for a joint attack to improve his DPS output. That is pretty tricky and pretty amazing. Right? Pretty clever of him. Now that said, let's look into his second skill. It says order hold position, and it is so freaking damn good, and it has amazing synergy with his trait ability. Look into here. Grants 1 stack of counter attack to all team members with a counter attack when attacked, counter upon a counter using the basic ability. And guys, with the basic ability, we will be able to deal 80% more damage to the enemies out there, right? Yeah, there we go. And applies defense up to the main target for 3 freaking turns. That is so good. Plus 50% defense to a particular target. You can actually target, you know, like a very squishy unit in your team, so that you can actually provide a lot more sustenance to that particular character. This is so good. Okay, now that said, now let's move on into his ultimate skill known as order advance. Okay, it says deals 100% damage to all enemies with a 80% chance to apply defense down for 2 turns. This is really good in order to set up an amazing cleave damage against the enemies out there. Can be a really great help in the arena content for the cleave team. Just think about it. He can be a really great help in setting up a really good AoE damage against the enemies, so that you can clear them up right away in an instant flash. Okay, and defense down is pretty much great for dungeons and adventure contents out there. So really good stuff right over here. And AoE defense down, it's just too freaking amazing to pass out on. So this guy, not only that he is an amazing tank, on top of that one, he provides those amazing skill kits that can be a really great help in order to boost your overall team damage output. Really an amazing team player that you definitely would want to have in your team. William, pretty awesome unit, guys. A got unit in the game nonetheless. Anyways, that said, now let's move on into the next unit, and that's going to be the Orakh. Okay, he's an epic unit, and he definitely is capable of dealing a lot of damage thanks to his very high attack stat. Alright, and now let's look into his trait ability. When attacking, there is a 30% chance to combo and deals 50% damage to all enemies. Critical rate increases to 100%. Oh my god. There we go, guys. Really good AoE damage just with his trait ability, like Hydrisia. Alright, and that can be a really great help in order to clear up the adventure contents real fast. Okay, very fast gameplay progression right over here with this skill alone. Okay, this is so good. Anyways, that said, now let's move on into his basic attack. It says it deals 100% damage to an enemy with a 30% chance to apply defense down for 1 turn. But if you actually manage to deal a critical strike on the target, which is, you know, like pretty much achievable in this game, there is a 100% chance to trigger the defense down effect on that target, and it can be a really great help, especially in the boss fights, dungeon fights, and so on and on. Alright, so yeah, there we go. Really good stuff right over here. I mean, like a 100% chance to trigger defense down on a particular target. I mean, like even the guild boss unit will actually be, you know, like easy to take down with this particular character right over here. Now that said, let's look into the second skill. That's going to be Tortured. It says deals 150% damage to an enemy and recovers health equal to 50% of damage dealt, which is actually really good. Really gives him a lot of sustenance by his own self thanks to that amazing lifesteal effect. Okay, and really good damage output to a single target as well, which is great for the boss fights. And finally, now let's look into his ultimate skill. It says Execution removes all positive effects from a target and then deals 200% damage. That's a really good single target nuke right over there, and he's going to take all the positive effects. That means like it's gonna be a really great help in the boss fights, especially if that boss is really good at putting a lot of buffs on itself, especially in the dungeon fights, right? And damage from this attack scales with the target's maximum health, which is definitely referring to the boss units. Okay, those boss units like guild boss units, those units really do have a lot of HP on them, right? And well, you can actually take the advantage of that factor in order to deal a lot more extra damage to those characters out there who are the boss units boasting to have a lot of HP in front of us, and this guy is just gonna squash them real fast. Okay, so there we go, guys. This guy is mainly for the boss fights and can be a really great help even in the PvP arena contents. All right, so yeah, there we go. And thanks to his trade ability, definitely he is good for farming as well, just like Hydresia. And now that said, let's move on into our next unit, and that's gonna be the wood element WindStreax. Okay, this character right over here, one of the really popular unit in the game. Why? Let's look into her abilities out here. She's a very speedy unit with that 128 points of speed stat. All right, that's it. Now let's look into her trait ability, Wind Spirit. It says, when using an ability, there is a 100% chance to reduce its basic cooldown time by 1 turn. But this ability may only be triggered twice per battle. But anyways, it's gonna be really great help, especially in the arena contents when we are looking forward for a very quick and swift battle. Okay, so yeah, it's gonna be a really great help, and this is definitely gonna allow her to use her or spam her skills pretty faster than compared to other units out there, and to set up really good stuff, because she's one of the amazing support unit in the game. Now let's look into her basic attack. Wind attack, it says, deals 100% damage to an enemy and applies speed down for 2 turns. Can be a really great help in the boss fight dungeons, and especially in the arena content as well. Speed down effect, really good stuff, guys, and really good single target nuke damage as well. Now that said, let's look into her second skill. It says Wind of Peace. Okay, it says refresh the cooldown of an ally's ultimate ability. Oh my god, it's one of the most unique skill in the game out there. You can totally refresh the cooldown of an ally of your choice, you know, the ultimate ability right away. That is really great, meaning like if you have really amazing DPS unit in your team, and then well, you can actually refresh the ultimate ability so that that particular character can actually go with his ultimate ability once again, and that can be a really, you know, like big disaster or devastation for the opponent out there. Okay, whatever the content, it's gonna be so good, whether it be the PvP arena content, or whether it be the adventure, or whether it be the boss fights, guild boss fights, or whatever that is. Just bring her in and she's gonna be a really great help right over there. This is amazing indeed. Kind of reminds me of Assyria from the Epic 7. Anyways, there we go. Now let's look into her ultimate skill. It says Roaring Gale, and it is one of the best support skills out there in the game. This alone is just too good. Grants speed up boost and attack up boost to all the team members for a total of 2 turns, which is freaking amazing. Okay, plus 50 speed boost to all the characters. That is so great. It's an advanced form of the speed up boost, and she can provide that 30% of attack boost to all the characters. It is really essential for the PvP arena battle. Okay, she is a very speedy unit, and definitely she can use her ultimate right away as soon as the battle starts. And with her ultimate skill, definitely all the characters in the game, in the team, is they are totally gonna be receiving this amazing buff that can allow them to outrun their enemies and also to deal them really great damage, so that they won't, you know, like turn up their face against you guys. Okay, they don't have even time to actually you know, like do anything to you guys, and you guys will be already running miles around them. That said, definitely later on, as it comes to like second turn or the third turn, she can totally refresh the cooldown ability of the any ally who is supposed to be your main DPS unit. And guess what, guys, it's gonna be pretty much game over for the opponents out there. Okay, it's gonna be too much to take on against her. So yeah, there we go. Really good strategical unit out here that is totally meant especially for the arena contest. She is pretty usable for the other contests out there as well, but the main utility, I mean like the main uses for her is definitely going to be the arena content. Very amazing unit indeed. Anyways, that said, now let's move on into our 5th and the final unit, and that's gonna be the light elemental unit, Celestial Kane. Okay, this character right here, definitely as a light unit, it's gonna be quite hard to get this character, but if you once manage to get him, feel yourself really lucky. Okay, so there we go. He's one of the amazing tank in the game out there with very high health and defense stats. Okay, so now let's look into his trait ability. It says natural healing. When this character is attacked, it removes one negative effect from each of 2 team members. Can only be triggered once per turn. Okay, so there we go. With the essence and effects right of here, it removes one negative effect from all the team members when this character is attacked, which is gonna be a really good cleanse effect right away, right? It's so good. Kind of reminds me of Ifrit, the Dark Ifrit from Summoner's War. Can only be triggered once per turn, which is actually pretty good in my opinion. Really awesome right over here, guys. Can be a really great help, especially in the dungeon fights, especially if the opponents are really good at inflicting a lot of debuff on you guys. At that time, it can be a really great help, all right? And sometimes in the PvP arena contents as well. Anyways, there we go. And now let's move on into his basic attack. It says deals 2 to 6 strikes of 30% of damage to an enemy. Each strike heals this character for 4% of maximum health, which is freaking amazing. This guy right over here totally boasts to have very high health stats, and to get that healing up to like 4% of max health per each strike, meaning like up to like 6 strikes. That means like a total of 24% of maximum health recovery right away. 24% of max health recovery right away? Are you freaking kidding me? That's an insane heal for himself, and just with his basic ability alone. My god. This is crazy good. Crazy good for self-sustenance. As a tank unit, it is definitely really awesome. Now let's look into his second skill. It says collision, okay? It deals 100% damage to an enemy and applies taunt for 1 turn. Can be really great help, especially in the PvP arena content, especially if you really want to take care of a particular unit that could be a really big threat for your allies in the team, okay? Because like under the taunt ability, or taunt effect, immune to control effects, automatically uses basic ability to attack the caster, meaning like the opponent, the target, will not be able to use their active skills, or let's say any kind of skill that actually has the cooldown stuff right over there, or special abilities, okay? And that can be a really great stuff, meaning like you can particularly taunt a main DPS unit of the opponent team, or any kind of troublemaker of the opponent team, and you can pretty much nearly make them nearly useless, okay? Nearly very effectiveless out there thanks to this taunt ability alone. And it has 1% chance to trigger right away as well, which is pretty awesome, okay? So there we go, guys. Really strategical unit, and you know, like that can give you a tactical advantage, especially in the PvP arena content. And now that said, finally it's gonna be the ultimate skill, High Ground. Deals 100% damage to all enemies and grants invincible to all team members for 1 turn. Think about this, my god. If you can time it right, it can really save your ass from near disaster, okay? Even if you are supposed to die, man, you can pretty much like, you know, just show the middle finger to your opponent out there, even if though it's a boss in it. So definitely this skill is going to be a really great help in the dungeons, like whatever the contents out there in the game, like adventure, guild boss battle, whatever that is, but especially it's going to be a really great help in the PvP arena content if you actually manage to use it at the right time, okay? With that invincible, this character will not take any damage whatsoever. For 1 turn, all of your team members will not take whatever the damage, okay, may come from the enemy. It is just so good. Set it up right and you can pretty much turn the table around and make or render even the most fearsome skill of your enemies down to nothing. Okay, that's how good this amazing unit is. Wow, this is so amazing, man. Anyways, there we go. One of the best tank unit in the game out there. So there we go. We have got a total of 5 amazing, epic heroes in the game, and out of which the 2 units, that's going to be Zatlux, all right, and the William. Sorry, not this one. This William right over here are the God tier unit in the game, because their abilities are just freaking massive, insane. Even as an epic unit, they totally are the God tier unit in the game. And the next, definitely, Orakh right over here, great for farming, boss hunting, and so on and on. And we have got this Celestial Kane right over here, one of the best tank in the game out there, with massive self-sustenance and really good, utility that provides a lot of sustenance boost to your entire party member. And finally, the next unit that is essential for the arena battles, and that's going to be the WindStreax. Can be a really great help indeed, because he actually provides one of the best offensive boosts out there for the entire party members, and being able to provide that reset right away to an ally's ultimate ability is just too freaking damn amazing. Very tactical unit. If you use her right, definitely it's gonna be much easier for you guys to dominate your opponents in the battlefield out there. That said, this is it for today. Once again, I would love to give a very big shout out and thanks to LD Player for sponsoring this video, and definitely I'm here to recommend you guys to use LD Player Android emulator to play mobile games like Awaken Chaos Era, and I think so far you must have really realized how smoothly this game really runs in LD Player. That said, see you guys in the next video.